All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Gonna see if it has BSS with its main Google search. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned post, pinned video somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. And as a result, we got our FSIC graph here in white. We got way on the left, we got the highest intent peeps, the peeps searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And when we're dealing with these types of peeps, we're making videos about BSS, or at least having these peeps come to us. And the lowest intent peeps way over on the right, we got so we talk about those peeps at our sister brand Boudoir FB Added Doctor, where we're talking about BLCS. Currently over there, we're only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, boudoir search sameness, is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And when this happens, if we got 0 slots page 1 of Google, that means we're on page 2 or deeper. We already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. And as a result, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. Our business is dying fast. Also, 1 slot page 1 Google, not good enough. That ain't good enough. It's because everyone else is going to have 1 slot on Google as well. So there's 10 organic slots. If everyone has 1 slot, guess what? We look the same as everyone else. We're not special. We're not looking special. We're not standing out. And guess what a buyer's doing? Well, guess what approximately 80% of buyers are doing? They are clicking every single boudoir photography website, filling out every contact form, getting a quote from everyone, compressing prices, negotiating, getting the best price for them, just wasting our time, waste. And dude, and then it's like, at max, we're probably bringing in 10% of the people. And so, just real big waste of time. So this means our business is also then dying slowly. Now, 0-1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And so it's common and it's accepted, but it's not normal to have such a few number of links page 1 on Google search. And the 2 deeper root causes that are causing that are A, market saturation, and B, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, that's more peeps getting, over time, more and more peeps actually increasing, become boudoir photographers, get new gear, get new iPhones, get new cameras. Then they're thrown up the Google My Business profile saying they're now a boudoir photographer. They got their boudoir website saying they now shoot boudoir photography. They're posting the mom groups on Facebook saying they now do boudoir photo shoots. And more boudoir photographers over time for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every other boudoir photographer. Next, we got the false belief of page 1 equality. This is a new one. Most people don't know about this. When boudoir photographers basically kind of didn't really think about it. Just kind of automatically accepted that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google search, which is 100% incorrect. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search in only 10 days. But boudoir photographers have auto accepted this, where they actually, let's say they got their website ranked number 7 page 1, and then market saturation happens, and they actually, they're position 2 on page 2. And as a result, they kind of just accept it. They're like, well, I hope those new peeps delete their website and Google stops indexing them. So then Google can be nice and put me back on page 1. But no, that's not how it works. We can actually take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want. So this leads to people not even thinking it's possible to get more slots, so they don't even look for a solution. They haven't kind of broken out of that mental jail, that mental box. Now, a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Remember, 0-1 slots on page 1 is boudoir search sameness. So if they got 0-1 slots on page 1, that means they're on page 2 or deeper. Yeah, dude, their business is dying fast. Disappearing boudoir photographer, they're on page 1. They got 1 slot on page 1, their business is dying slow. Now they're being compared to, they're 1 out of 10. They're being compared to all the other boudoir photographers. Everyone else has got 1 link. And as a result, their business is dying slow. Both situations, though, a disappearing boudoir photographer, it's basically the canary in the coal mine, kind of the red flag, the flashing warning light. telling us that the boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We've discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And as a result, I mean, it works exactly as it says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And when that happens, it's kind of like we think of it as the snow on the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America. The snow on the backside of those mountains, the east side. When that snow melts, what actually happens is it flows into streams, small streams, and to small rivers. And it actually all flows into the massive Amazon River. That Amazon River, everything flows into, that's page one Google search. So, but it all starts with saturating social search, showing up there for those highest intent boudoir buyer searches on social. And when we do that, that's the snow on the top of the backside, the east side of those Andes Mountains that we need. Everything flows. Everything happens because that snow's there. Everything happens because we execute SQ methodology correctly. And what's interesting about this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that actually gives them a chance to still grow their business in the face of massive market saturation, and it gives them that opportunity in a relatively quick time frame. And that is because, well, the only other solution I've seen provide that same benefit grows in a still able to grow in a or the chance to grow in a saturating more and more saturating market is having a large well-known brand. But dude, that does not satisfy our as fast as relatively quickly criteria. It's actually you know it takes like 5 to 10 years to do that. But guess what? Dude, we ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI is here taking people's jobs right now. So we need a solution that allows us to get results or gives us a shot right now. And the interesting thing about SQ methodology is actually my estimates is as we do it, as we run it, and we're doing so much more frequency across so many different search surfaces or different surfaces, my estimate is it enables us to build a brand approximately 8x as fast as traditional methods. So it's kind of like helps us build up that brand faster. I mean, imagine if you got a large well-known brand and you're still utilizing SQ methodology. I mean, dude, you're essentially unbeatable then in your area. Now, an example for SQ methodology, right now we are heading to, all right, we are going to go to Boston, Massachusetts. And let's say there's 1 million boudoir photographers in Boston, Massachusetts. And with those 1 million boudoir photographers, we're one of them. And everyone's got their website saying they shoot boudoir, all competing for page one Google search. And we ain't got no large, well-known brand yet. So our only chance of growing here, literally our only chance, basically we had zero chance before. But now we got one chance, is to utilize SQ methodology. Dude, and let's say we do it all the way to the max, like maximum ability. Let's say we're able to take the first 300 slots of social search, and we're able to take those, and those flow onto Google page one search. And let's say we're taking the first 300 slots on Google as well for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And when we take those, we are actually, basically, we are actually that's taking the first 30 pages on Google. So essentially, a boudoir buyer would have to scroll down to page, slot 301 in social search, or would have to go to basically Google page 31 with Google search in order to basically find any of our boudoir competitors. We already know 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So who the heck's going? Dude, who is going to page 31? Basically no one. So in this scenario, whose business is still growing? Most likely ours. Whose business is dying / becoming invisible / declining? Most likely all of our competing 999,999 boudoir photographers because they are not utilizing S-cubed methodology. And so this is, kind of an ultra example of what S-cubed methodology, could allow at like the most extreme end. Now, once treated with S-cubed methodology, we now have page one visibility, P1V. Initial benefits, we get more slots, page one Google search, and every new slot we get, page one on Google search, we are actually kicking another boudoir photographer, competing boudoir photographer in our city off of Google search. And a lot of boudoir photographers actually like this initial benefit the best. So we can actually we can basically control who is on page one, which of our competitors are on page one of Google search for which keywords. We can relegate everyone, all those that we don't want on there, to page two or deeper if we put in the effort to get as many page one slots on Google search, as Google will give us. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. And this is where the GBC universe recommends having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one Google search, because if everyone else has one slot on page one of Google search, then what actually happens is us having 3 slots, we actually look, we're dominating them. Everyone else got one slot, and the ultra rare chance other peeps got 2 slots, then we're still dominating them as well. So 3 out of 10 slots is the minimum that GBC Universe recommends. And a boudoir photographer with BSV, boudoir search visibility, is a visible boudoir photographer. So we've got our full universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. And we finally found the solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now onto my results utilizing S-cubed methodology. So I started with having 0 out of 10 slots, page one of Google search. And let's see what I got for the organic slots here after utilizing it. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So dude, in only 10 days, utilizing SQ methodology, I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page one Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page one on Google search. And these are the results that I got. Now we're going to check out, we're going to see if this boudoir photography business has BSS, kind of the basis for all this stuff. So let's see. So we're going to do a search, boudoir photography Las Vegas. All right. All right, so we got boudoir photographer Las Vegas, Nevada. So let's see. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, there we go. All right, we got 1. 1 out of 10. Nice. All right. We got 1 out of 10, so we do have BSS, boudoir search sameness, because we got 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google search for high intent keywords here. And ideally, we would want to get to our GBC minimum of 3 out of 10, because then we can basically guarantee we're not a disappearing boudoir photographer. At minimum, we're treading water, or we could actually be growing. So we do want to get to 3 out of 10. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, you've done your local search, you've done your city search, and you actually see, you've got BSS for either or both of them, or you're not meeting GBC minimum, recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page one Google slots for either or both of them. And you're like, all right, you realize you got BSS, you understand page one equality, there's a false belief, and you're like, all right, I broke through that. I need to achieve, I need to get as many page one Google slots as possible. And you also understand the market saturation with, new iPhones, more boudoir photographers coming in, new cameras, more boudoir photographers coming in. But you're also looking ahead and you're saying, man, AI is taking a ton of people's jobs. Last time a bunch of people lost their job, COVID, a huge tsunami of boudoir photographers coming in. So you've actually decided, hey, you got to fortify your life right now and actually get as many page one slots on Google, which is only a downflow of getting as many page one slots on social search for all the social network searches. It's downstream of that. Before all these boudoir photographers come into the market, come into the city, and start making their websites, ranking, competing for page one, kind of like prepare, kind of like the levees in New Orleans, since the city's below sea level, kind of like build those levees up to prevent floodwaters or the flood of boudoir photographers from taking your market share. And you're seeing, okay, S-cubed methodology is the only solution that can get me there effectively. And you want to achieve page one visibility, hit the GBC minimum, recommended minimum of 3 out of 10, become a visible boudoir photographer, have boudoir search visibility, because you need this on your way to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also know that you actually, there's actually hidden back-end benefits of doing this S-cubed methodology as well we have not talked about yet. First one would be in kind of, we're building thematic keyword columns around our brand name, our social handles, our website, and all that. As we do SQ methodology more and more, it increases the probability we get actually recommended for AI overviews. Here at the top, premium placement, only one slot for local search and city search. And you also want the back-end benefits of every time we execute another day we execute SQ methodology, increasing the probability we get recommended through all the AI search engines, ChatGPT search, Claude search, Perplexity search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search. These all run on, thematic keyword clusters, authority, age. And so every day we execute the SQ methodology, we're increasing that, probably getting recommended there. And we know more, literally, Google still has, I believe, like 89 or 90% of global search share. But due to AI search, using more and more and eating into Google every single day. I haven't used standard Google search in literally like a year to actually click websites and open and read stuff. I've always been using the Google AI mode. And so you want these back-end benefits. You also decide you want to be the first mover in your city, because you recognize, my current plan is to only work with one person per city on this. So you kind of want to box out your competitors and kind of achieve all this front-end results. Hit the GBC minimum 3 out of 10 on page 1, kick out competitors off page 1, effectively make them invisible to approximately 80% of searchers who never go to page 2. And build these momentum on the back end, which is higher probability AI overview, higher probability being recommended AI search, and higher probability nobody in your city ever catches you. Putting more distance between you and them, by building up this thematic keyword columns attached to your brand for the backend for AI search engines to be recommending into the future. Because I know last time I used Google or ChatGPT to search for boudoir photographers in a city, dude, it only gave me 3. I'm like, what? There's like 60 in this city. It literally only displayed 3. So we want a higher chance of being those 3. And you also know if someone else in your city jumps on this first, they lock you out, well, you're gonna have to derive or figure out SQ methodology on your own. And then you have to go execute it, but you won't be confident executing it because you don't know if you even derived it correctly to use it correctly. And then you'd have to equal our output with your competitor to just maintain the gap. You'd have to actually exceed our output with your competitor for us, to actually make up ground on us and kind of take back the momentum that we're building in the back-end AI search and the front-end results we get kicking you off page 1 of Google. So you've decided, screw that. I'd rather be the first mover in my city, give myself the highest chance of blocking out all the boudoir photographers coming from AI. They're going to be forced losing their jobs, but people still got to earn money. And you decide SQ methodology is the solution you want, the path you want to take. So shoot me a DM. Not right now. My DMs are full, or my DMs are closed. The hospital we're not taking any new patients right now. But